Here's Johnny. Johnny Bones Jones is coming back. Wow. That's awesome. UFC 285. It's on Saturday, March 4th. I can't wait. Man, I've missed John. You know, I don't even know how to describe it. I think because so many people consider him to be the best to ever do it. And it's not that he has the most or least exciting fights, or he's the I don't know, the showman. He just, there's something about him because you know how good he is when you watch him fight. When you've been watching fights for a long time, you start to pick out the way people do things, you call it the fight IQ. And it's so, it's a chess game when you're in there. It's all your experiences and your instincts and your wisdom and probably 100 more words. And then you're watching two guys play chess, and you can see the skill level of that chess playing when you know what you're looking for or when you know what you're watching, which is totally different from when you first start watching MMA. Because I started watching it at the very beginning, and it's evolved so far. So far, it's a world of difference between some people. I would say like some of the first wrestlers and BJJ guys, Hoist and the sumo guy who got his, tooth knocked out, and so many other disciplines, karate and whatever. You can see the difference in the level of the chess match. And then when you get to Jon Jones, oof, you just see really great judgments and instincts, and I don't know. It's a lot of things. It's probably should be like a peer-reviewed paper, Someone should, maybe even a group, a bunch of scientists should sit down and go through it, because it probably would be fascinating to a nerd like me. Probably most people wouldn't give a crap, but for me, I would probably read it a lot of times because it's just so high level in my head. Maybe I'm just an idiot and I'm observing greatness. Maybe that's what it is. That could be. That could totally be. Don't put me on the peer review. But so Dana came out and talked about it a little bit. There's also a bit in here about Francis Ngannou.
First question's got to be about the heavyweight fight, so I guess I'll jump right into that. Yes, T-Mobile blew the fight. That wasn't supposed to go up, but it did. This is for the official heavyweight title. We've been working on a new agreement with Francis for like 2 years now. And we had gotten to a point where, he was going to fight Jon Jones. And many who believe, including me, that he's the best of all time, for the heavyweight championship. And Jon Jones has been willing and ready and able to fight anybody. He didn't care who it was. Could have been anybody in the heavyweight division. He was ready to go. And Francis, we offered Francis a deal that would have made him the highest paid heavyweight in the history of the company. More than Lesnar, more than anybody. And he turned the deal down. So, I don't know. We get to this point where I've told you guys this before. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. I think Francis is in a place right now where he doesn't want to take a lot of risk. Feels like he's in a good position where he could fight lesser opponents and make more money. So we're gonna let him do that. We're gonna release him from his contract. We're gonna give up our right to match, and he can go wherever he wants and do whatever he wants. Yeah, that's where we're at.
When was that decision made, Dana? Was that I mean, how long have you known that this was going to be the
Well-
case, that Francis was gone?
Well, we've been negotiating with him for 2 years, you know, and there were a lot of different, you know, even now. I mean, the guy was just weighing over 300 pounds, just had knee surgery, hasn't really had a real training camp. And I think that probably has a lot to do with it as far as Francis is concerned, too. You know, he doesn't know what's going to happen with his knee, how his knee, you know, he's not getting younger. So, you know, I don't even think he would have been ready for March. So, you know, we can't continue to hold up the division and not come to an agreement with this guy. We did everything we could to try to make this fight happen and try to give him the fight, but, you know, he's got it in his head that there's bigger opportunities outside the UFC with, you know, lesser opponents.
And did this just come down to a dollar figure? I mean, or was it like other things, like
No.
I want a bigger portion of pay-per-view?
No, I think that you're looking at, you're going to fight arguably the greatest fighter of all time. You'd be the highest paid heavyweight ever in UFC history. Or you think there's more money out there to fight somebody who isn't the greatest of all time, somebody who is a lesser opponent. I mean, you'll have to ask Francis that question, but in my opinion, that's what it is. Which isn't the first time that's happened here. It's not like this is something that's never happened before. There's been other guys that have come to us and said, you know, I don't want to compete at this level anymore.
Did you get the feeling that he was negotiating in good faith or just really didn't want to be here at all?
I don't know. No, I mean, I doubt he'd just hang out for 2 years and continue to negotiate. And, you know, I don't know. I don't think he thought the Jon Jones fight would really happen. That's what I think. I think he didn't think that would really come to fruition, but it did. Jon Jones was literally ready to fight anybody. He didn't care who it was. And we could have done a fight with Jon back in, you know, October, November, December. And we kept, you know, we kept trying to get this deal done with Francis. And then finally it just, you know, we got to the realization that it wasn't going to happen.
So last thing for me on that, so just to be clear, 100% free and clear. He could sign a contract with anybody in the world tomorrow. No matching, no counter, no nothing. He's just gone.
100%. And this is, you know, this is for the official heavyweight title.
I was gonna,
That's crazy. So you got Jon Jones versus Cyril Gane Saturday, March 4th. That's going to be awesome. And then you got the second part of it, which is that Francis Ngannou is released from his contract. So now he can go box Tyson Fury or, I don't know, join ONE or Bellator or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what he would do. I haven't really heard much speculation about it, I don't think. Other than maybe like a super fight kind of a thing. You know, maybe, well, actually, if you take a second, probably the first thing that pops into my head is Jake Paul. Jake Paul just announcing with PFL, talking about a super fight division. Francis Ngannou would be a prime prospect for that. But Jake Paul better have a lot of money lined up. Because if they were going to, if the UFC offered him more than Brock Lesnar, I don't remember what Brock made, but I know it was a lot of money. Brock has mentioned a lot of money. Other people have said it was a lot. I don't know exactly what that means, but when you get to that point, does it really matter? It's obviously a lot more than any of us are going to see. It's a big club, and you and I are not in it. We're not in the lot of money club. Maybe one person that ever hears this might be, but it isn't us. But, you know, hopefully Francis will go and do some stuff. As Dana pointed out, he's getting a little older. He has, you know, just got off a knee surgery and this and that. So, I don't know. I definitely want to see more of Francis. I think everybody does. You know, he's a beast, man.